Hello, everyone, and welcome to Culture of Gaming's Power Up Podcast, episode 131, I think? Anyway,
That's the one.
I think, yeah, we're a little bit down on the count, it got messed up somewhere. Anyway, I'm your host, Taylor.
And I'm Anthony.
And I'm Andrew.
And we, of course, have a wonderful show lined up for you guys this week. But, as usual, before we delve into the gaming news, we always like to go over what we've been playing and whatnot the past week or so. So, Andrew, what have you been up to the past week in terms of the video?
Yeah, lots of like dinking and dunking, like, a little bit of here, a little there. I guess I'll start with the new stuff. I played Battletoads.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Did you call GameStop?
Should have.
Okay.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Okay. Battletoads 2020. I like the way it looks. I think the animation is good. I think the art style is solid.
Okay.
I like that when one of the toads uppercuts a dude, hand turns into a chicken, and it makes a clucking noise. Big fan.
Fascinating. Okay.
Yeah. Also, you can hit people with your guys' like arms turn into a fish. Good. I like that they make the Battletoads like losers, basically, because who cares about them?
Yeah.
I feel like you're grasping a little bit here.
I don't know if I like much more about it than that, though.
Okay.
Like it's like a beat 'em up, right? Side-scrolling beat 'em up. You
Yeah.
move left to right,
Yeah.
beat stuff up. Sometimes you like are on a speeder bike and it's like like objects are coming at you.
Sure.
It just I don't know. It just doesn't feel great. There's a lot of like weird stuff. The voice acting is it's mediocre to bad, I would say. The writing is bad, except for like making the Battletoads suck. That's kind
Okay.
of funny. Other than that, the writing's bad. Yeah, it's just not a great video game. It's like very mediocre to below mediocre.
Was it worth like the 30-year wait or whatever it is now?
No.
Okay.
No, it's not even close. Like basically there's a couple buttons you're gonna press. You're gonna be pressing your light button. You're gonna press your like launcher button.
Yeah.
And you're gonna hold a button to like do a strong attack. And like you can do some air combos, but it's like it's very not. The combat is not like very deep. Like it's just like, oh, okay, launch your guy, do a thing. This guy's an electric dude. Make sure you're not next to him. Yeah, this is an official review on a scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah. The audience
we'll
demands it.
We'll get there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just not good. It's not terrible, but it's definitely not good. And there's no online multiplayer, so even if you wanted to like hang out with a buddy or your roommate,
Yeah.
or with not you don't have people at your house, you want to play this game or like play a game, you can't do it. You have to be sitting next to somebody and playing this game, which depending on your situation, probably not happening right now.
Right.
And I guess I'm missing another core mechanic is like there's 3 toads, right? And basically when you go down, you like switch to a different toad, or you can like switch on the fly.
Mm-hmm.
So you go down really fast. Like one guy goes down really fast, then you're gonna switch to the other guy. It's basically the same, except for his animations are different. Their animations are different.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's weird. It reminds me of this really old game like called Three Dirty Dwarves. It's a weird Sega Saturn game that has you. I'm not making this up. This is a real game.
No, I believe you.
No.
It's like a side-scrolling beat 'em up, or when you go down, your like guy goes down and you switch, and you can like hit him to wake him back up. It's like uncanny, like how my brain just made these connections. Like when I was playing it, I don't know why it happened, but it did.
Fun.
Yeah, it's not good. The levels go on too long. The ones that go in between, like it's like mini games. Like you play a level where you're playing like, oh, they all have mundane jobs, and like you're just pressing like the triggers, like alternating triggers, like, and oh, good job, that's the level, and I'm like, what?
What the hell?
Like, why am I? And it's like a 4 or 5 hour long game, and that doesn't sound long, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't sound, but it's long when you're playing that game because it's just so middling. Like if I were to scale it, I would normally give it a 4.
Okay.
But I think the uppercut chicken arm makes it a 5.
Okay.
Because I don't get
Uppercut
tired of
chicken
hearing
arm.
like a weird, like there's like a weird clucking noise, which I'm
Sure.
a big fan of.
Yeah.
So that's one whole point right there, I think. So I'm gonna give it a 5. Mostly cons, positive chicken arm
Okay.
thing. Yeah, so that's that game. If you have Game Pass, play it. Maybe if you just want to see it.
Mm-hmm.
I do not recommend paying $20 for it.
Oh, it's only 20 bucks. Okay. I don't want to say it's only
like
20 bucks because it doesn't seem like you didn't strike a very good, like, even for 20 bucks, not you did. When you're saying, okay, at least it's not full priced.
You can get
okay.
you can get a lot more better games for $20.
Did you get it off Game Pass, or did you actually buy it?
Yeah, I have Game Pass, so it's like a 10 gig download too, which is like a lot for like that game. Like, not that I didn't have room, but I just looked at it and I was like, that's 10 gigs? Jeez.
Dang.
Yeah. So if you have Game Pass, sure, I guess check it out. And if you like it, cool. But don't pay the price for it.
Okay.
It's not worth it. Beyond Battletoads, I've played a little more Apex. Realized how hard Apex is to play.
Yeah.
Dang, that game's hard. I did get a win in, but that's because I'm pretty sure the last team we played against were just complete bots. Okay, I'll take it.
They were Switch players.
Well, like okay, we'll be quick. I don't need to go too long. But like the like circle moving this way, like moving this way. They're like we're kind of like on the same plane. I don't know if we like tagged them a bunch or whatever, but they retreated the opposite way of the circle.
Okay.
So I was just like, hey, team, let's just go that way.
Yeah.
They're just gonna die in the circle, and then they died to the circle.
Oh no.
So I was like, cool. These guys were terrible. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because I haven't played in a long time that they've just matchmaking is with terrible players.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. I'll take it. Yeah, that game's hard. The one thing I don't know what they're thinking. It's true. The one thing I'm like learning I don't like about that game though is like, or any battle royale, is like the attachments. I like in Call of Duty. I guess Fortnite did it first too. Is like picking up a gun and just not having to fiddle with like, what scope do I put on it? What magazine do I put on it? And all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I know Apex is okay about it because it just replaces your best one.
Mm-hmm.
But then there are times where I'm just sitting there looting forever, and I'm like, I don't like looting this long. I wish I was just like picking up a gun, like to say like a what is it called? Modern Warfare, Warzone. Where it's like, okay, you have a green gun, it's got a scope, or it doesn't have a scope, which is like fine.
Sure.
Which I think Fortnite does that too, where it's like you get a purple one and it's better than the green one or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
Yeah,
it's
they
cool.
do like different tiers or whatever, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like it's just less. It's like less complicated.
Okay.
So it's Fortnite as well.
Yeah, Fortnite does it too. Right? It's just less complicated, and it feels better than like having to sit there and pick up every single piece of loot or be confused. Hey, what's going on, Slazo?
How you doing?
I think that's basically it. Okay. A little bit more Call of Duty here and there, unlocking the new weapon that came out.
What new weapon came out? There's a couple buddies playing it. They were talking about it, but I didn't quite catch it.
It's a new LMG, and it's very like versatile. You can put like a bunch of different barrels on it, and like one that like shoots really really fast.
Okay.
Seems okay. I was kind of messing with it today a little bit. I haven't played it in Warzone, but in like multiplayer, it seems fine as long as you kit it out correctly, because like it's just slowed it. Okay. Yes. But it's fun. It's nice. It's it's cool that LMGs are kind of like the go-to right now.
Pretty hilarious clips of like the FAMAS.
With the
oh my goodness!
I think they nerfed it like last week.
About time, like legit. People are like sniping with it. Basically.
Oh yeah, the FAMAS is like insane actually.
Yeah, it's
like
funny.
the shotgun attachment.
Mm-hmm.
On the FAMAS. It's like people are just like using it as like sniper rifle basically.
Made sense.
Yeah,
so funny.
It was funny to watch that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's it. A little bit more Rogue Legacy 2. Good game.
Okay.
But the early access is pretty short.
Yeah,
probably like 5 hours long or something. Like
sure.
Because it's hard. The game is just hard. So. I think that's it.
Interesting.
Okay. All right. So, Anthony, what have you been up to this past week?
I haven't really been like gaming a whole heap.
Okay.
I've been kind of pretty decently busy this week. Just with like real life stuff,
Sure.
But I have been playing some Red Dead 2 as usual. Still going through that. Only a couple of hours or so. So I'm still like at the second camp thing. I think it's like chapter 2. I mean, Chapter 3, sorry, that I'm up to
Okay.
in that game. I've got to update Steam. I was certain I bought some other game as well, but I can't remember what it was. But I don't think I actually checked it out yet. But yeah, predominantly Red Dead 2, and I also played some Apex as well, here and there. Still kind of like grinding through that a little bit.
What do you think of the new SMG, the like Volt?
I haven't got it yet.
Oh, I like it a lot.
I haven't got it yet.
I should try to get
What's it called?
The Volt?
The Vault.
I guess it's in.
Oh, yeah.
It's like the Energy SMG.
Oh yes, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone I was playing with actually got it. And they were using it. I really don't like energy weapons in Apex.
I swear the
It's-
Volt is in Titanfall too.
It is. It is.
Okay.
It's in
Okay.
Probably
So this
is,
sounds really, really familiar.
yeah. Most energy weapons in Apex I absolutely hate.
Oh,
to be
okay.
honest. Like,
Apparently, that's like I was looking at, like that's like all the good guns are energy, like the Devotion and Volt are like
Devotion's
super
pretty good.
that's a
If
great.
you can, I mean, this is such
I
a
mean-
lame thing. Like if you hit your shots, but like of course, any
Yeah,
gun is
I mean,
good
it's good if you hit your shots, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but they just melt people apparently if you
Yeah.
if you
Devotion
figure out how to
does.
control them.
Yeah.
Personally, I still prefer the R301 or the R99, even though they did nerf it.
They put that
Um,
R99 in their care packages now too, so you
Yeah.
can't even. Yeah.
What I mean, this is like last season, but like they swapped the what's it called, the Peacekeeper with the what's that other shot?
The big
Kraber.
shotgun, the
No,
Mastiff,
the
I think.
Kraber's- Yeah, Mastiff. Kraber's the sniper. I don't think that's a good idea. I think I need to swap it back. The Peacekeeper is absolutely useless.
Is it?
Yeah.
I do like this season how they kind of like I think there's certain guns that just have the attachments already, like the triple take just
Yeah.
automatically has the like barrel spreader. I don't know what they call it.
Barrel stabilizer.
Yeah, there's
or
certain
whatever it is.
golden weapons in Apex Legends where it's just like they'll come preset with like the best in class attachments or
Yeah.
whatever for them, whatnot.
So like yeah, now if you pick up like some of the guns, like I think it's a triple take, and I think there's one more. Oh, the choke. They automatically come with chokes.
Yeah.
So like
Okay, that's good.
so like it's just more valuable. Like oh, off the rip, I have the triple take. Like it can kind of double as a shotgun slash actual sniper.
That would actually be cool if they did like skill-based matchmaking, which they apparently do. But like
Allegedly.
depending on your allegedly, yeah, depending on what skill level you are, like if you're a bad player, come with preset attachments. If you're a good player, just strip the whole gun, get them yourself,
Yeah.
kind of thing. That'd be a cool thing to do, I reckon.
I think. Well, I don't know if it is, but I think like even with the handgun, like if you do enough damage, you get the hammer point rounds like added to it. I want to say kind of like how you have the shield, how it upgrades.
Yeah.
I think in like some of the weapons, like if you do enough damage, you just automatically get the hop up.
Okay, that's
I
good.
think. I could be wrong, but like I was training around with the little handgun, all of a sudden I had
The
like-
wingman or the P20.
yeah, all of a sudden I had the hammer point rounds for the P20, and I was like I don't remember picking that up. So I think it
Yeah.
just kind of like if you do enough damage, it will reward you, which is kind of a cool incentive
Yeah.
to actually
good.
fight, instead of hiding the entire time.
Yeah, just run away.
Which that is not the game for hiding.
No.
No, Apex is really bad. It's really bad. Like for hiding, it's really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the games are really fast. I think the games I played are like 15 minutes it seemed like tops, which is
Yeah.
not long for a battle royale. Sometimes you're getting like 25-minute matches in like some of those ones. Well, at least
God, I've had like PUBG matches go
Old
on for
one.
like 45 minutes or something like that.
yeah,
It's-
exactly.
They
Like,
get
it's
really
just too long.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really does.
I do like how fast like everything like you're like the second circle you have like 10 teams left. You're like, whoa, wow, okay, like cool.
This is going quick.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like they don't overexpose. Like in Warzone, they put too many players in, and like you are constantly fighting basically in Warzone. Unless you're in a vehicle,
Mhm.
you're constantly fighting. Even in like singles, like it's just I don't know. I personally don't like Warzone as much as like Apex. I feel like Apex they need to, particularly over here, they need to start introducing. I know this sounds bad, but they need to start putting like bots or something in lobbies because it takes, like particularly here, it takes about 10 minutes to get a match. And yes,
Oh,
Nat,
wow.
don't go and tell me that it's killed my country. Shut up.
Maybe when they open up the crossplay stuff, it'll help out a bit.
Yeah, hopefully will. But yeah, like over here it's dying kind of a little bit, so they need to like maybe this. I mean, this season seems to be a bit easy to get a match, but like in general,
Can always switch servers, I think, and see.
Yeah,
I think
Singapore is usually who we go for.
Mm.
And that's like pretty instantaneous. Like this, it seems to be pretty popular in like Asia, Apex. So that's good.
Okay.
But that's kind of it for me this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. This past week, lots of flight sim still. Game's still fun and everything. It's slowly getting better. They're going to come out with a patch, I think, early next week, so that if you've been having trouble installing it and just like kind of getting the game to run, that should hopefully help you out a little bit and everything. Although that has unfortunately angered a lot of people in the flight sim community because there are still some issues that they didn't tackle that are more in-game. But like, you know, again, from a development perspective, you want to at least make sure people can play your game first, then patch the stuff that's actually in the game first. So anyway, yeah, game's fun. I'm having a good time with it. It was definitely worth the $5 sub to Game Pass so far.
Did you fly through the tropical storm?
I did, actually. I went and checked out Hurricane Laura down in the Gulf of Mexico there, like near Texas and the west side of Louisiana there. It was kind of weird, right? So it's you know, you can pipe in the live weather and everything in the game, what I did and whatnot. It's like flying into it, even when it was like really getting like peaking and everything, right? It was like category 4 or whatever out in the ocean before it escalated to a cat 5 before it made landfall there. It was like, it was just a lot of rain and very, very dark clouds just like everywhere, which is obviously it's a hurricane, right? So to be expected. But like the wind system is bugged in Flight Sim. And so it didn't calculate like the insane winds properly. So you were flying through a hurricane with like really, really calm winds. I think it's like there's a bug that just has the winds locked all throughout the world at like 3 knots or whatever, which is very, very slow. And so, so there was like no wind flying through this hurricane. There was just a lot of clouds and a lot of rain. And so, but it was kind of cool. Like the weather system was very, very detailed. You know, there was the eye in the hurricane and whatnot, where it was just like an open sky and then the clouds all around. It was kind of weird, but also really cool. So
nice.
Yeah. And then what's up?
I figured out my issue with that game actually.
Oh, what is it?
So I was having issues running it.
Okay.
So when it's running on 60 FPS,
right,
when you're trying to load into the world, right?
Yeah.
Even in the menus, it crashes. If you jump into the main menu, change it from 60 to 30 FPS and load into the world, it's perfect. I mean, you change it back to 60 once you're in, runs like a dream. No problems at all.
Huh.
Interesting.
That's really weird. Yeah.
So it runs better with a higher frame rate or FPS?
When it's loading, yes. It runs better with lower FPS. And then once I'm in the game, it runs a lot better with higher FPS, obviously.
That kind of made sense because your GPU has to your CPU is going to have to process all those calls from the GPU to drive the frame rate also. So it's like, anyway.
So when it's loading on 60 FPS, right?
Yeah.
It's on around 90% on the CPU. Right?
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
When I change it to 30, it's on 20%.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So I think it's a bug that they've got going on with like loading and stuff with AMD specifically, because like AMD is hell. Like I'm just gonna say it, it's absolutely hell to run in the thing.
You've pissed Matt off.
I like AMD. I use it.
Great I mean, like fantastic CPUs and stuff like that. But like when it comes to technical problems with games,
most people do like. I feel like prioritize Intel probably first, right?
Yeah. So I don't know.
Bigger market share.
Yeah, there are a couple things with Intel, or I'm sorry, with the AMD that are like not super obvious, but like would really help you out in terms of performance and everything. So, I'm specifically talking about the only part of AMD that's relevant right now, which is the CPU part.
The CPU.
Yeah, the CPU part. Because as Matt makes the point in the chat, the GPUs haven't been relevant since like 2015. And so anyway, it's like with AMD CPUs, it's like, you know, there's some stuff that's just like, so their big thing was they're trying to force like much backwards compatibility with previous motherboards as much as possible and everything, like the chipsets and everything. But it's like, to run some of the latest Ryzen processors, you might have to if you were to buy like a little bit older, not the latest and greatest motherboard or whatever for it, then it's like you have to BIOS update the motherboard or whatever.
I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, it's that. Okay, yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right? So it's like
It was a pain.
yeah, and then there's some issues with like there's like an optimal memory speed for some Ryzen CPUs, which is kind of weird and everything, right? And as opposed to just like on a Intel, you just crank your memory speed full blast, no matter, just crank it however high it goes. So
Yeah, because my motherboard is bad, so I like can't run 16 gigabytes at my full speed that I have. It's like
oh wow, yeah,
it's not a fun. I think it's just my old crappy motherboard. So.
Yeah, Matt's B450 board will need an update to use the 3900X. So he has to get like a previous, like a AMD has to loan him like a previous gen Ryzen or something like that, so he can complete the BIOS update. And then he has to take that CPU out, and then he has to take that CPU out, and then send it back to AMD and put his like 3900X back in it with the new BIOS.
Oh,
nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Weird. Huh.
Nice.
Yeah, the 220G. Yeah, exactly.
Very
So,
nice.
anyway, and then, so Flight Sim's still pretty fun. Played a little bit of Ghost of Tsushima, slowly still working through that game and everything. Like, all my progress stopped as soon as Flight Sim came out, because I've been, been just trying to rock in Flight Sim for a bit. Played a little bit of League of Legends with some friends, and also I played a little bit of Sekiro the other night. So,
Nice.
I posted a meme in the community Discord, and that kind of inspired me to play Sekiro again. I don't know. It's very nice to like that game, It was Game of the Year 2019 for a reason. Anyway.
How far are you in Ghosts?
I'm not even onto the second bit of the island yet. Like,
Oh, okay. So
yeah.
you're at least-
yeah, very, very slow. It's like I keep getting sidetracked doing stuff in that game, right? So it's like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna run over to this lady and do her main story quest or whatever, right?
Yeah.
I get sidetracked for like an hour doing something else, So
Do you know fast
Yeah,
travel
all the-
exists, right?
What was that?
what?
Fast travel exists, right?
There's fast
Yeah.
travel in that game?
I swear we had this conversation.
Did we?
we've
Okay.
had this
If we
conversation.
did, I've forgotten and haven't used it. Okay.
There's definitely fast travel in that game if you need it,
Oh, okay.
and it takes like 5 seconds.
That's gonna speed things up then. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Good to know. Thank you. Anyway.
Also, swipe up on the D-pad.
No, I know the
push
swipe up
wind,
thing. I
Anthony.
perpetually swipe
I
up on the
didn't know that.
D-pad.
I mean,
Yeah.
I know, I'm
You-
just giving Anthony crap.
Okay.
You told me that like 5 weeks ago, and
I
I
know, I
still remember, but,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
I feel like this game needs a tutorial of some sort telling you this.
You see,
Dude, they can constantly hold your hand.
yeah, it even
like-
told me about the swipe up thing too after you guys had mentioned it before on the
Okay,
podcast before I
I'm
started
blind.
playing it. So yeah, it's
I
like not
feel
only
like
did
that
I
game-
hear it from Andrew, but I also read it in game too when I was playing. So
Yeah. That game is always reminding you, like, oh, make sure to switch stances. It's like pausing you mid combat.
yeah,
I'm
it's
"What-
like,
what
hey,
do
you
do?"
really want to switch stances? No, I didn't handle this guy just fine in my stance. Damn it!
Like, I'm 20 hours in. Okay, I know I
Yeah.
can switch.
I
Stances.
don't play this game.
Excuse
man.
me. So I've got to switch stance, okay?
You're not
Hold
playing
still.
correctly. Let me remind you.
Yeah, I will say the parry timing in Ghost of Tsushima is so much more forgiving than the parry timing in Sekiro.
Oh yeah, yeah. Especially I got a charm that lets you. It opens it up even more.
Oh, really? Okay.
So I'm just like pairing everybody. It's
Just a parry god. Yeah.
yeah. Well, I mean, I just
Yeah.
mashed a button really. And it
Right.
just
Yeah.
worked.
Master
Smash that
swordsman.
button.
Yeah. So I can't do
Okay,
anything. Yeah.
Exactly.
Anyway, so running through the house team stuff before jumping into the news. Our main site is, of course, who knew the non-Souls game would be easier than the Souls game? Yeah, I know. Who'd have thunk it? Andrew, have you checked out Mortal Shell yet, by chance, or no?
I bought it the other day,
Okay.
but I haven't launched it. So I don't know if you still have this, but apparently Epic on the Epic Store gave everyone like a $10 discount code,
Oh,
Like
I don't know.
like
Okay.
like a mega coupon or something like that. I don't
Yeah.
know. You just could apply it to everything. So I picked up Mortal Shell for like $20 because I was like, that seems like a good
Nice.
Nice.
good
okay.
idea to do. So I'll probably end up like streaming it and messing with it sometime when I'm
Okay.
not super busy lately, which is a problem lately for me.
Okay. Yeah, I was just wondering. Okay.
Imagine using Epic. You know what?
Epic's pretty decent.
It's fine. I mean, okay, it's fine for me here. I know it's probably not fine for other people in other countries because of like weird currency issues and stuff like that.
And the shopping cart stuff, but whatever. Anyway.
No, I haven't had. They have Tetris Effect on it. Okay, I had to download it there.
So,
I was
Just
against my will,
that Tetris effect.
but I had to. And
Um,
now Xbox has Tetris. You know what? Freaking Tetris Effect is just killing me with all this stupid stuff they're doing. Exclusive.
Epic's.
You're obsessed with Tetris Effect.
It's so good.
I know.
So good.
Okay. It
That's how you
seemed
do it
pretty
now.
cool. I think I've seen like you stream it at some point or whatever. I've seen a couple other people stream it at some point. It looked pretty cool.
I mean, it's Tetris. If you
Yeah,
like Tetris
but I
and
mean,
you
like all the
like-
cool effects and whatnot they got going. It's pretty. Anyway. All right. So, as I was saying, back to the housekeeping stuff. Main site is towardscultureofgaming.com. Gaming news, reviews, opinion pieces, etc., etc. It's a video game website for all the video, with the occasional dip into anime and tech also. All right. So, and then community Discord, a link to which you can find on the right-hand side sidebar of the main site, which is once again cultureofgaming.com. And then Facebook, we got 2 pages, one for the main site and one for the podcast, respectively. So they are facebook.com/the COD Network and facebook.com/PowerUp Podcast, respectively. And then we are on twitch.tv/cultureofgaming, where you can find the odd live stream, but mostly the Power Up Podcast being recorded live every Saturday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on the Twitch channel, which is once again twitch.tv/cultureofgaming. And then youtube.com/cultureofgaming. Maybe working on trying to get some more video content out there across people on the staff or whatever. And yeah, also it lags a little bit behind, which is fine, just as like processing and editing, but the video repository of all the previously done podcasts is posted to the YouTube channel, which is again youtube.com/cultureofgaming, and then twitter.com@the COD Network, Instagram @cultureofgaming, and finally, if you want to listen to an audio repository of all the previously recorded podcasts, head on over to wherever you can find podcasts: Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pocket Casts, Podbean, Podcast Addicts, pretty much everywhere that you can find podcasts, we're on it, so you don't have to go looking all that tough. Anyway, so, what's up?
no, nothing. I was
Oh,
just
okay.
agreeing with you.
Okay. So anyway, kicking off the news story this week is, this has been going on for, 3 weeks now, probably? I think this is the third week we're going to be talking about
I
this.
think so.
Is Epic
right.
versus Apple. We talked about last week how we'd probably have a development in story, and lo and behold, we have a development in the story. So just to give a brief overview of what's been going on, we're going to read a little bit more into it. A judge has ruled that basically Apple doesn't need to put Fortnite back on the App Store, and I'll get into a little bit of legal basis for that and everything in its current state and whatnot. However, the judge did also rule that Apple can't yank Epic's Unreal Engine developer accounts and everything in retaliation. They can't do that. And then third, the third little bullet point here is that Apple has terminated or at least suspended Epic's App Store account, specifically the App Store developer account, which means they can't, until they get approval from Apple again, they can't put new apps onto the App Store, update existing apps on the App Store, etc., that are also from Epic. So anyway, we're going to get right into that anyway, and we're going to try something new to read the article here. Hold on just a second. Boom, okay, so you should have switched here. This story is coming to us from Gizmodo. What?
Dang. Getting technical,
I
are
know.
we?
Fancy.
I
Yeah.
like it.
All right. So, they did it. I know. Amazing title, right? They did it. Who did what now? Okay. Anyway. They said they were going to, and they did it. According to Bloomberg, Apple has officially terminated Epic Games' App Store developer account after promising to do so, which means the Fortnite makers' games, and more importantly, updates for existing games like Fortnite, are no more, at least on iOS. Apple said in a statement to Bloomberg, "We are disappointed that we have had to terminate the Epic Games account on the App Store. We have worked with the team at Epic Games for many years on their launches and releases. The court recommended that Epic comply with the App Store guidelines while their case moves forward. Guidelines they followed for the past decade until they created the situation Epic has refused." Tim Sweeney shot back on Twitter saying, "Apple's statement isn't forthright. They chose to terminate Epic's account. They didn't have to." Well, I mean, contractually they were technically obligated to, because Epic agrees to certain terms and whatnot, so it's yes, it is still technically at Apple's discretion, but it was part of the agreement between the two. Anyway, Apple suggests that we spam the App Store review process. That's not so. Epic submitted 3 Fortnite builds, 2 bug fix updates, and the Season 4 update with this note. Okay, anyway. this is the latest move in the battle between Epic and Apple. It started in the gaming company to decide to take a stand against Apple's revenue share program, which requires every app charges a premium either upfront or via in-app purchases to pay Apple a cut. Yeah, we all know that stuff. So that was, so again, just to be clear, that's specifically Epic's App Store account, which doesn't affect the development of Unreal Engine, which again, the judge ruled Apple can't really touch because that's like a whole separate other thing and whatnot. All right, so switching back to the, should have switched back? Yeah, okay, cool. All right, and then so that's the first little bit of the story. Any other thoughts about that?
I just wanted to give, I saw this court night.
Court.
Thought that was good. I didn't make it up, but I just wanted to put that out there.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Good job.
Court.
Whoever
Oh
made
my
that, good
god.
job.
Okay, that I'm sorry, that just completely derailed my train of thought there. Okay. Anyway, so the
What I'm here
thanks.
for.
So the next bit of the story, let's see if we can transition, make sure it looks okay. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Is Apple and Epic have to win over more than just a judge. This is coming to us from The Verge, as you can see, and whatnot. Yesterday, this was written, let's look here, August 25th. So yesterday, as in August 24th. So the first promises what many hearings in the Apple versus Epic legal battle over Apple's App Store policies and fees. That first hearing was preliminary to the preliminaries, merely designed to see if Apple should be forced to reinstate Epic's developer privileges immediately, while the court figures out whether the company should reinstate Epic's privilege temporarily for the duration of the trial. This is part of the limited temporary restraining order that Epic wanted against Apple that we talked a little bit about last week, saying it's like, hey, and while, you know, this trial is going on, which is going to be a while, in all honesty, you know, it's like Epic requested that Fortnite be like forced to be able to be on the App Store in its current state. Yeah. And so a decision came in the wee hours of night. As Russell Brandom explains, Judge Vaughn Gonzalez-Rogers ruled that Apple can't retaliate against Epic Games by terminating the company's Apple developer accounts or restricting use of Epic's Unreal Engine by developers on Apple platforms. But in the same ruling, Apple will not be required to bring Fortnite, which it banned after Epic added an in-app payment system in violation of Apple's rules, back to the App Store. So basically, like, the legal basis here is that the judge basically found that Epic did self-inflicted wounds on the part of Epic and everything. So, you know, it was like, you know, Epic caused this themselves and everything and whatnot. And so, therefore, it's like nothing's like, it's basically just completely in Epic's court right now, you know? So it's like, you know, if Epic wants to, it's like Apple has no, like, they don't need to be forced to put them back on the App Store. The ball's entirely in Epic's court, so that if Epic wants to be back on the App Store, Apple knows what they have to do, Epic knows what they have to do, and everything, stuff like that. So, yeah, it's literally just all up to Epic now and everything. And then it was good legal protection that, you know, Apple can't terminate the Unreal Engine development accounts, which is good also. And then Apple said it's just like, well, you know, it's like you violated our App Store policy, so we're terminating your App Store account, which is what we just read. So,
sure.
Anyway, and then, let's see. The last little bit here is there's going to be the leaked email between Tim's... This is it, right? Yeah. The 2 a.m. email. Was this like an internal memo or something like that Tim Sweeney sent?
I should say actually in the article what it is. I think it's just like, so this was the actual email that was sent from Tim Sweeney to the Apple dude.
Tim Cook.
Tim Cook. Yeah.
Okay.
Tim to Tim. There we go.
Yeah. Okay.
I think Tim Sweeney just came out and said, "Hey, this is what I said," and basically here's the email. I think that was like the gist of it, basically. So.
Okay. This is what Tim Cook was referring to in the interview last week that he talked about anyway. So yeah, Tim Sweeney at August 13th, 2020, 2:08 a.m. Pacific time. Wow. To Tim Cook, Phil Schiller, Craig Federighi, Matt Fisher, and Douglas Vetter. Well, it's like I think there's like the C-level Apple people, because I know, yeah. So it's like obviously Tim Cook is the CEO, and I think like Craig Federighi is like CFO or not CFO, COO, Chief Operations or something like that.
Sure.
Yeah. Anyway. Subject Fortnite payments. Dear Tim, Phil, Craig, Matt, Douglas, I'm writing to tell you that Epic will no longer adhere to Apple's payment processing restrictions. Today, Epic is launching Epic Direct Payments in Fortnite on iOS, offering customers the choice of paying in-app through Epic Direct Payments or through Apple Payments and passing on the savings of Epic Direct Payments to customers in the form of lower prices. We choose to follow this path with the firm belief that history and law are on our side. Smartphones are essential computing devices that people use to live their lives and cut their business. Apple's position that its manufacture of a device gives it free rein to control, restrict, and tax commerce by consumers and creative expression by developers is repugnant to the principles of a free society. Ending these restrictions will benefit consumers in the form of lower prices, increased product selection, and business model innovation. Henceforth, all versions of Fortnite that Epic submits to the App Store will contain these two payment options side by side for customers to choose among. We hope that Apple will reflect on its platform restrictions, begin to make historic changes that bring to the world's billion iOS customers the rights and freedoms enjoyed on the world's leading open computing platforms, including Windows and Mac OS. In support of this path, Epic's public explanation of our payment service will be neutral and factual to provide Apple the chance to consider taking a supportive route and communicating it in a way of Apple's choosing. If Apple chooses instead to take punitive action by blocking consumer access to Fortnite or forthcoming updates, which we all know how that turned out, then Epic will regrettably be in legal conflict with Apple on a multitude of fronts, creative, technical, business, and legal, for so long as it takes to bring about change, if necessary, for many years. Tim Sweeney.
Interesting.
What a crusade.
Just knew they were doing... not wrong, but like they knew they were in.
Yeah, they knew they were violating the policies.
Yeah, clear. Like the judge said, like they kind of brought this on themselves.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. Yeah. This wasn't in any of the articles, but the the judge basically said it's like, as far as I can see, the only reason why Epic is off the App Store is because of Epic. As far as I can tell, it's like it's not Apple like maliciously acting against Epic or anything. It was just it was just Epic, doing something that violated the App Store policies. And I remember, I hate to sound like taking sides, but like remember from the get-go, Apple did say it's like, look, if Fortnite wants to be back on the App Store and everything, Epic knows what they have to do.
Pay the fee, basically.
Right. It's like they just have to pay the whole, they have to take away the direct payment option. So.
Pay the toll.
Yeah. We were just attacked at the cats today. Okay. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, what do we think of the recent developments? Oh, by the way, the trial date is set for like March or April of next year. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I think Epic brought this on themselves, to be honest. Like,
Sure.
I think I said this last week or the week before.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Fortnite's on Apple's still, right?
Yeah.
Apple have a right to say whatever they want to do. Mm-hmm. Obviously, no company can say, oh, if you're going to do this, and we're going to do this, and like remove the whole Unreal Engine stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
So. If it directly relates to Fortnite, they can kind of do whatever they want, because like Epic's in direct conflict with them. I mean, probably if it was a repeat offense or like a repeat occurrence, then Apple could probably turn around and say, okay, well, we don't want anything of yours on our platform.
Right.
So then they could probably get rid of like Unreal and all that. But yeah, I feel like Epic's brought this on themselves. It's their own kind of stupidity. It's just kind of funny, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, weaponized children.
Right. That's kind of the big thing, right? That we're saying is just like...
Good plan.
Yeah, Epic's using the power of their fan base, which is mostly a younger fan base, It's like Fortnite is definitely comprises of younger players, and it's just like... Yeah, little Timmy hates Apple, which is they put Fortnite off the App Store,
Tim and Timmy.
Yeah.
Got the Fort phone coming to a store near you with
I know.
Fortnite installed already on the phone and 500 V-Bucks in the system already. So,
yeah.
Too much money to make, like, I don't know, get like a moderately cheap Android phone, so do like a Pixel 4a or something with like Fortnite installed. Sell it for like,
Sideloaded on there.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
What,
Sell them on eBay for like
10 grand, made of
Oh,
money.
I'm sure people
grand.
who are tech savvy are just like, oh, I can do this. Like,
Yeah, I'm kind of interested in like looking to the jailbroken community on iOS to see if they've managed to figure anything out about this.
maybe. I don't
they
know.
probably have. Probably.
Okay.
If there's a way to make money and sell this stuff, I'm sure people will figure it out.
Well, I remember last week we it's like we looked at those eBay listings. There were like 10 grand for an iPhone with Fortnite installed.
I should have kept it installed.
Could sell your iPhone.
Hey man, for 10 grand, definitely selling that thing.
Heck yeah.
Right, exactly.
Sounds like a good idea. Yeah. It's interesting stuff.
Mm-hmm. Okay. The new
they
Flappy
can
Bird.
play it.
Definitely.
Yeah, this is new. They can play it though, right? If they have it installed, right?
Yeah, they still can, as of the current update. Although, if like things get updated more, it's like obviously they can't push updates to the iOS one. So I'm not sure how they'll handle that.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I mean, the game's pretty much dead on iOS at the moment.
Well, I mean, what is dead? Like,
No. I mean, like, it's very difficult to get a match.
Oh, okay.
oh,
Like,
really?
yeah. Unless
Well, you
it's
can-
like cross-play and whatever, which obviously you can do. But like, if it's iOS to iOS or like, I mean, it's phone-to-phone kind of thing, whether it's iOS or Android, it's pretty difficult to find matches apparently.
What do all the kids play on their iPads these days? Not Fortnite. Minecraft
Flappy-
is back
Flappy
again?
Bird 2.0.
Roblox, I don't know. Yeah.
Flappy Fighter, clearly the
Flappy Fighter, yeah.
Angry
the best
Birds?
Flappy game.
I don't know.
Oh.
Cut the Rope? Candy Crush?
Those original
Yeah.
ones.
Infinity Blade?
Oh, that game was actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
What are the
So,
Battle
okay.
Royale?
Oh, do you know what? I remember that game's technically off the App Store now, also. Infinity Blade?
I don't think that game has been on the App Store forever
Oh, okay.
because it's so old.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Makes
They had
sense.
Infinity Blade 2 or 3. I don't know if there was 3.
Yeah, I
There's
don't know.
definitely 2.
But yeah. But okay, so if there is like technically an Infinity Blade on the App Store, it can no longer be there because yeah, the Epic account got terminated for the App Store. So
It's one of the best Punch-Out games they've made in a long time.
truly. Yeah.
Hell yeah. I don't understand why they don't just, like, Nintendo or something don't just, this is totally random. Like, why they don't just team up and put, like, Game Boy games on mobile.
I don't think it would be fun to play them personally, like with touch controls, but I don't know. Maybe just they're
You
trying to
can,
protect their like shitty,
IP.
yeah, like like only.
oh, you can only play it on Nintendo. But you can get, like, third-party controllers and stuff. Not controllers,
yeah.
but, like, those things that go around your phone that then, like...
Yeah.
Snap
And like
it in your
joysticks and
phone.
whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's so cool if they did that. Like, I would...
They can't even put the Game Boy games on the Switch.
Right,
Put it on
exactly.
a-
Yeah, let alone on a mobile. Oh, so it's like, I don't know, there's like an Android, there's like an Android supremacy thing, but we've had GBA emulators on Android for years.
Oh, yeah, we have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know if I would want to play like that. It's just like I
It
don't
wasn't.
know.
I don't know. I played like Pokemon Fire Red on my phone in
Okay.
high school, so it was just like it wasn't too bad.
I could see like a slower paced game,
Yeah, I wouldn't
Worked
try anything
fine.
insane.
but like playing like a Contra game or something on there.
Mario Golf.
Yeah,
Is there a Mario Golf for Game Boy Advance, bro?
yeah.
But
Yeah, there is for Game Boy Advance, yeah. But you can get, like, Nintendo 64 games running on mobile pretty easily.
should be right.
Yeah.
I mean, they can
You
run
can.
PUBG and whatever the other one, Fortnite. So.
Yeah.
That's kind of my next question. Do people actually play those sorts of games on their phone? Like, do people actually play a game like Fortnite or a game like PUBG on their phone? Like, that's just kind of like unfathomable to me, honestly.
They have PUBG mobile tournaments. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Jesus, okay.
Pretty wild.
That's
Like people
okay.
take it serious. It
Tyler,
made
I think the issue is people just aren't elitist enough.
Apparently not. Okay.
They're just
People need to quit lowering their standards. Okay.
peasants, okay? That's all it
Yeah.
is.
Okay.
Like,
People need.
PUBG is free for like PlayStation next month, and I'm like, man, maybe I should try to load that up.
isn't it a free game? Oh, PUBG, sorry, not Fortnite.
Not Fortnite, yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be free on PlayStation.
And Street Fighter 5 as well, I believe.
Yeah, but I have that, and it's bad. So
Just stop. Yeah.
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. All right. So I think.
I mean, it's not bad.
think we can move on from Epic versus Apple and whatnot for this week. Dan, I don't predict any significant updates for a while unless there's a settlement that happens between the two. But if not, then, well, hearing begins in like March or April of next year. So see you again in like 8 months, I guess.
Hopefully the rain is gone.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can go outside.
Exactly. Whenever we want. It'll be amazing. Okay. All right, so...
And I wonder how... This is... Sorry to bring... I wonder how much money they're losing out on now. Not being on the Apple, like...
Yeah.
It's a decent point, yeah.
Probably a lot, right? Like, that's probably their main moneymaker.
Right,
Well, it's not on Android either. I mean, you can get...
No, it still technically is on Android. Because even, like, Epic has their own, like, app installer from Android. Anyway.
Yeah, but you can't, like, just pick up an Android phone and, like...
Yeah.
No, okay. Yeah, you'd have to go a little bit out of your way, but it's nothing like jailbring the...
Yeah, but, like, a kid is not gonna, like...
probably not, no.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I gotcha, yeah. All right.
Weird. Anyway.
Interesting.
All right, so let's talk about Black Ops Cold War. We talked about this last week a little bit, right? How it's like it's going to be a direct sequel to Black Ops 1, more so than 2 was, stuff like that. Okay. Anyway, it's all about, you know, communist subversion of Western nations, stuff like that. Yeah, you have a bunch of famous Cold War presidents in game, it looks like. Kennedy's back, Nixon's probably around somewhere, Reagan's around, you know, LBJ's probably there too. Bunch of fun previous presidents, okay? So, we've gotten more details about the game, okay? And, it's coming out, like, mid-November, as usual. Including the next-gen stuff and information surrounding the games. So, Call of Duty, this is coming from Activision support. I'm not gonna like pull up the article and everything. Basically, there are multiple editions of the game, as there is. So, you know, there's the physical standard edition stuff. There's the PS4 and Xbox One. Okay, you know, there's the next gen standard edition. Okay, so PS5 and Xbox Series X. So, okay, is this to say that by the time this game comes out, both the Series X and PS5 will both be out? Is that reading a little bit too much into it?
I don't know. It's possible, or very close to it, right?
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, and then there's also the digital cross-gen bundle, okay, which includes the base game for both console generations within the same console family, so a PS4 to PS5 and Xbox One to Series X. You can't do like PS4 to Series X or, you know, Xbox One to PS5. Yeah, the next gen version of the game will feature a higher frame. Yeah, and you get the standard pre-order stuff and everything, stuff like that. And yeah, and then you also get there's also the Ultimate Edition. And so that comes with the cross-gen downloads, stuff like Weapons Pass, some stuff for Battle Pass. Oh, what the hell? Did I get duped? Okay. People were like, this was really confusing. This doesn't seem too confusing to me.
There's confusion with like the Xbox version can only be digital, and then with the PS5 one you can get the discs. There's like some weird confusion about physical and digital.
Sure.
Okay.
So if you actually care about like physical stuff, then I think the Xbox One was like not great to get.
Oh, okay.
But if you're doing all digital stuff, it was like it didn't really matter, I don't think.
Okay.
Okay, so this is from Tech Radar.
Mm-hmm.
Buyer beware. The Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War comes with a number of caveats depending on which version of the game you buy. Choose the wrong one and you might find yourself out of pocket. With an install base of over 80 million, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War will sell most of its copies on PS4. That's a fact, and publisher Activision is fully aware of it. It also knows that it can make a tidy profit from any PS4 owner who pick up a PS5 in the form of a next-gen upgrade. Same with those who purchase the game on Xbox One. Of course, it would be super if Activision offered a free-gen upgrade, like many other publishers have already promised, but business is business. I can't bemoan the fact Activision wants to make as much money as possible, but did they really have to make buying a copy of Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War so damn difficult? Here's the deal. If you buy a digital copy of Black Ops Cold War on PS4 or Xbox One, you'll need to stump up $59.99 or $79 or $79
Yeah.
AUD. However, which However, Activision is also selling a cross-gen digital version of the game, which costs $64.99. This version gives you the current gen and the next gen versions of the game, while the standard version does not. Presumably, you'll have to pay an upgrade fee for this. My guess is this will cost you $5, but we'll see. But what about consumers who prefer to buy a physical copy? Well, this is where it gets downright stupid. If you buy a physical copy of Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War on PS4, you can upgrade the game to a PS5 digital version through the PlayStation Store for a nominal fee, of course. However, if you buy a physical copy of Black Ops Cold War on Xbox One, you cannot upgrade it to an Xbox Series X version. Instead, you need to buy the game on Series X outright. Now, this one isn't technically Activision's fault, but I can also sympathize with consumers who don't keep up to speed with the draft practices of the video games industry, because just look at the minefield that awaits them on the store shelves. It looks exactly the same. The box art.
Yeah.
This is a small X.
This is kind of weird. I don't know. It's kind of weird, but I wouldn't quite call it all that confusing.
But wait, there's more.
Oh, God.
If you buy a physical copy of the Series X version of Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, you'll be able to play it on your Xbox One. The Xbox One version of the game will also be compatible with the Series X, thanks to backwards compatibility.
Okay, so
But
that seems like the
obviously-
path to go here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But obviously it won't include any of the fancy bells and whistles that the next gen version will provide. Got the hang of how this works out? Well, tough, because we're not quite done. Unlike with the Series X, if you buy a physical copy of Black Ops Cold War on PS5, you won't be able to play it on the PS4, as it will only work on PS5. If
Well,
you
yeah, that's
pop
just
a
the backwards
PS4 disc-
compatibility thing with Sony, though. It's okay.
Wait, if you pop a PS4 disc of Black Ops into PS5, though, it will work via backwards compatibility.
Right.
So
You can't put a
PS5
PS5 disc into
Yeah.
a PS4 and have it run
Sure.
for
Right,
obvious
yeah.
reasons. Same with Xbox, I think, as well too.
Yeah, okay. There's nothing too confusing about this to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a little weird. I think it's the Xbox is the weird part where if you buy the disc,
Yeah, I think that's all just
And-
Microsoft's problem, though. Honestly.
yeah, it sounds like it. Because the PlayStation, Sony's doing it, but
Yeah.
Xbox isn't. So I don't know. I have no idea why, but it's a little funky.
Yeah.
So just buy digital. If you just buy the digital version, then you're set.
You're pretty
So
much.
if
good.
you're able to buy the digital version,
Yeah.
hopefully it's not 600 gigabytes. And then
Well, if Modern Warfare is anything to go by,
Sure. But if you already have, I don't know how they're doing the Warzone stuff.
yeah. Okay.
Interesting.
Okay. Yeah. This
I mean,
isn't
yeah.
too bad, I guess. Like.
Yeah.
It's,
I don't hate the $10 upgrade or whatever either. I think that's fair.
I think that's fair too.
Considering
I
it's like we're gonna
think-
see some like next gen game cost $70, then I think that's kind of
Yeah, I think it's fair. It's like it's
reasonable.
not the same exact game. It looks better, runs better. It's on a new thing. Like I
Right,
think it's
yeah.
fair to charge people $10 to upgrade.
yeah.
I
For
don't,
people
I don't
who
have-
don't, who aren't like following the industry or anything a whole heap, though, this can be a little bit confusing because, like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Okay.
don't really know what you're buying. So,
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, your grandma could pick up somebody. Oh, the new Call of Duty, and then like a couple months later, they get the new system and it doesn't run or something. Then
This will probably cause hell at Christmas time, honestly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I reckon they'll probably just release a patch or something, where because
Possible.
that's what the Xbox One did. I keep saying 360 for some reason. Like with some games, you put them in and then it just like update and then you can play them.
Mm-hmm.
That was off some 360 discs, I believe you could do that. Because they introduced backwards compatibility and stuff. So I reckon they'll probably just do the same thing with Series X, probably. Because they're making that downright backwards compatible. So.
Oh well, okay. So then I am confusing myself. So if you do buy the disc version of this game, Call of Duty, then if you put it in your Xbox One, Xbox Series X, you put
Microsoft's
the
naming
scheme.
scheme really doesn't help
So
here
bad.
either.
But if you
No.
put
I am. Yeah.
the Xbox One version in your Series X, it'll still play, but you're going to play the old version of it. You're not going to get
Correct.
Yes. Okay.
that. Okay,
And that has
that's
to
where
be-
it gets
yeah.
confusing.
Okay.
Correct.
But if you,
Okay.
but
So
you
it's not
can't
gonna
put.
look pretty.
Wait, hold on. Let me read the thing from Activision. Hold on.
Yeah, so you can play the old version on your new console, but you're not going to the new stuff. You're not going to get any
Yeah.
upgrades to the visuals or the frame rate or whatever.
Okay, so
Okay.
either you go digital and everything.
And you'll be good.
You'll
either
pretty
way.
much be good on whatever platform. Or if you really want physical, then on Sony, it's a little bit more cut and dry. Just buy for the one that pretty much you want or whatever, right? Yeah. Or
I mean, you could buy
okay,
the
for
PS4
Sony, it's
version and-
actually really simple for Sony and everything, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
so
Yeah.
okay, if you buy digital, that's like completely a wash. Okay, that's like fine, whatever. Okay, you're good,
Yeah.
no matter what you really do. Okay, so if you buy the PS, you should honestly. Okay, so what you should do is like if you have a PS4 right now, okay, and plan to upgrade to the PS5, okay, at some point or whatever, you should buy, and you want the physical version of Black Ops Cold War, you should buy the PlayStation 4 version of it. So not only can you play it now, but when you do get a PS5, if you stick the PS4 disc of Black Ops Cold War into your PlayStation 5, you can get the little upgrade to it.
for like $10 or whatever.
Yeah,
Right,
which is fine.
correct.
Okay, whatever. Not hating that part. Okay, but then
It's
if
the
you,
other way
yeah,
around for Series X.
if you're on Xbox, okay, if you have an Xbox One series, okay, of whatever you have, no, I don't want to say series. If you have an Xbox Model one model, okay, of family, the Xbox One, okay, you should buy the Series X version of the
Correct.
game. Because it'll include both the Xbox Series X version and the Xbox One version on the game disc.
I think.
That's coming from I'm literally reading that on Activision right now.
It is
Yeah,
on- okay.
Xbox Series X Standard Edition includes both the Xbox Series X and Xbox One version of the
Got
game
it.
on disc for the next gen physical edition. Okay. Yeah.
Yes. So yeah,
Okay.
don't buy the Xbox One regular edition if you plan on upgrading.
Yeah.
Because then you're going to run into issues
You got
of
issues. Yeah.
paying another $60 or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So buy the Series X version, no matter what console you own, if it's in the Xbox family.
Yeah.
'Cause
That's
ca-
what it sounds like. Yeah.
basically everybody owns an Xbox One now if they own an Xbox console. So if you own an Xbox of any sort, apart from 360 backwards, get the Series X version. Simple as that.
Okay. All right. Now that we're through
It was
that,
confusing. So it was.
that-
So
yeah.
it was confusing.
It was.
actually.
Okay, yeah, actually, wait, it was confusing. Yeah. At face value, I was like, oh, wait, this is fine. And then it was just like, no, wait, actually, oh, God. Okay, we're good. Okay. Anyway, moving along. So, but we're not done talking about Call of Duty yet, though. The reveal trailer and everything was like in true Black Ops fashion, was like a compilation of like historical footage and whatnot, right? And the theme of the theme of Black Ops Cold War here is communist subversion and takeover of countries and everything, right? Has the famous interview with the KGB agent that I think is from like the mid '90s or so. It was just after the collapse of the Soviet Union when he did this interview. Talked about some of the methods the KGB would employ to subvert the governments of countries and everything. That's real footage and everything. That seems to be like a core theme of the game and whatnot. So this article is coming to us from Android Central of all places. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, in the trailer, among the numerous amounts of historical footage and everything that they were playing and everything, there were a few shots of the infamous Tiananmen Square massacre that took place in Beijing, China, and basically what happened is China threw a minor hissy fit towards Activision, towards including that footage. And so Activision made Treyarch, re-edit the trailer to, not include the footage from Tiananmen Square. It's not very long footage either. Like, it's flashed for a few frames, probably. Like, it's very short-lived, maybe less than a second, I'd say. And so, anyway, Activision made Treyarch re-edit the trailer, remove that bit from Tiananmen Square, and then re-upload it. So, read from the article here. Switch scene, here we go. Well, the Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War was announced with an ominous teaser warning players to know your history, said history is already being altered. As spotted by Kotaku, Activision removed the original teaser trailer for Black Ops Cold War, replacing it with a trailer that no longer features footage of the 1989 Tiananmen Square protests and massacre. And it goes on a historical brief about the massacre in case you weren't up on your history. And this trailer being removed in China would not be surprising given how the CCP government, the Chinese Communist Party government, does not approve of the footage from the event being shown, but it's clearly disheartening that Activision has removed it worldwide. So, yeah, pretty much that. You know what's, if I can just say, it's really ironic that, you know, if you listen to the KGB guy's interview or whatever, and it's just like, you know, getting, you know, native like companies in, you know, whatever nation you're trying to subvert to self-censor and everything. That was one of the like core things that he hopped on. And we literally have Activision self-censoring here, you know, an American company, an American developer self-censoring.
Blizzard is like in China's back pocket.
True.
They're still an American company.
I know.
Yeah,
Like,
it's like, yes, they have an investment from Tencent or whatever, right? But it's like they still are an American company.
Yeah, but they like keeping China happy.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, and then, you know, the article talks about how it's like, no, Activision Blizzard has become somewhat beholden to China lately, talking about the whole Blitz Chun thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah, the irony is lost.
I mean, they're probably trying not to get banned in China as well.
Right, yeah.
Like, now that China has, like, you can buy video games there, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
But again, also,
Yes.
it's like, it'd be one thing to, it's like, if the one they released on the Chinese market didn't have that footage in it, you know, that'd be fine. I don't think that becomes an issue. But, you know, this is the trailer that everyone has to see. And, you know, yeah, we all
yeah,
just...
I mean, yeah, I get it. It's, like, kind of like, weird. It's just weird, right? But, like...
Yeah.
It's a lot. I guess it's not that much more work if you're gonna, you know, if you already have the one and then you censor it and you have the other censored ones. But yeah,
Right.
I was gonna say you could just play the censored one. It's just, I don't know, like work wise, it seems like they'd be doing more work, but I guess not really in the situation.
It wouldn't be much more work.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not actually that much more work to. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just I don't know. It's just a typical thing of like governments / companies bowing down to China.
I mean,
doing now apparently.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, particularly with how the world's going like towards China and stuff. It's unfortunate that China still impacts the Western society as much as they do.
I had an example and I already forgot.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I was distracted because someone brought up Siege and how that kind of was.
Yeah.
Someone brought up Siege about how that was
Mhm.
censored over here, or was going to be censored over here. but
Right.
people kind of
Ubisoft
like,
wanted it to be for, you know, it's like you get the whole, like, you know, bowing to the CCP thing out of the way. And I'd say it's pretty much just like to save on development time, pretty much, right? So they didn't have to maintain 2 versions of the game, which was fine logic, you know, discounting the whole, like, beholden to another government thing. But, yeah, you know, the player base revolted for, like, a week straight. And then, yeah. They listened
like,
to it's like 2 versions.
I feel like Call of Duty doesn't have a great like record with like doing like they changed the like what was it like last year's game they had like the bombing the strip or whatever
Yeah.
and they just changed changed history basically so that like it wasn't
Yeah, that was
US bombing.
that was like a thing throughout the campaign in Modern Warfare, right? Where it's just like, I know specifically what we're talking about. It's like the sniper mission or whatever, right? Was like heavily inferenced to be like an actual event that took place in the Middle East. But it's like, you know, they changed, you know, who bombed
Russia
who.
was the ones that bombed it instead of
Yeah.
you know the Americans. When in reality, like
It was the
not
Americans
way.
that bombed it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, they just kind of change stuff to make it fit their narrative or whatever, right? So, like, oh,
Right,
someone's gonna be unhappy if America is the one bomb. You know, we're gonna all the people, all the red-blooded Americans are gonna be mad at us, right? So let's make the enemy the Russians or whoever, or the fake country we made up, right?
Yeah. It was unapologetically Russia in Modern Warfare.
Yeah, I think that's what I thought. I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
But
like in previous Call of Duty games and everything, they always dot around it by saying, oh, it was like Russian ultranationalists. It was like this fringe fraction that's militarized in Russia that's causing all this stuff and everything, right?
Modern Warfare 2, like Russia full on invaded America.
Right,
Like,
yeah, but that was like,
Mm.
again, that was like not necessarily malicious intent from the Russian government themselves. That was caused by the ultranationalists to, like,
yeah, sure.
anyway. But, you know, in Modern Warfare 2019, it was like unapologetically Russia. Like, it was Russia.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or whatever. They I know they made up a country too in that one. So like,
You're in a Middle Eastern country. That's Syria, definitely not Syria.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And
So-
there's like the Death Road or something. That's the one I'm referring to.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I can't remember.
Anyway,
But yeah, Call of Duty's always done weird.
weird stuff.
I don't know if
with
you would call that censoring, but it's kind of like, you know, similar.
alterations. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. This one, I don't know. This one is just like a little bit like. I highly doubt that it's like a government necessarily like asked Infinity Ward to say, hey, can we say the Russians did like bombed this road
Yeah.
as opposed to the Americans, as opposed to this one where it's just like, you know, a communist government. It's like a communist government asked, you know, the Activision to censor this part and everything. I think that's a little bit different. But I see your point. Where it's just like, you know, Call of Duty has definitely had its edits over the years.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Matt in the chat's talking about how the irony of like, you know, a game oppressive forces censoring themselves to appease
Right. Exactly.
a force. It's pretty ironic, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what can you do? It's, you know,
Revolt.
then, you know,
Revolt against
no.
Activision.
yeah, when it all comes down to it, it's just like a video game and like marketing. They're just trying not to get themselves in trouble with marketing. So
It's funny how they push. I don't know. I find it funny in like video games specifically, how they push some ideas but not others.
Hmm.
Like they push. I mean, some games. I'm not going to say all games, or whatever. Like kind of push twisted, like morally twisted kind of stuff every so often.
sure.
But then they don't like pushing the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
in this regard, I mean, in Modern Warfare's regard, like they don't like the idea of saying that America did the bombing instead of like Russia. They don't like. I mean, Blizzard in general don't like calling out, you know, China for their humanitarian problems.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's just funny how it's like they pick the easier of two roads.
Yeah. I mean, it's entertainment, right? So
Yeah, it
I
made
mean,
sense
you gotta
from
pick your
it made
spots.
sense from a business perspective to go down the
Yeah.
easiest of roads
Yeah,
or whatever, right? Yeah, so
Can't handle the truth.
It's just
Yeah.
you
interesting.
can't handle the truth. Yeah.
Kinda-
All right, so yeah, I don't know. So just kind of moving on to more general video talk. Is anyone interested in Cold War at all?
no.
I am. I
Okay,
like
yeah.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare so much
Yeah.
that if that game comes out and if I play a beta and it
Mhm.
feels as good multiplayer wise,
Yeah.
I'm sold.
Okay.
Because I love the multiplayer. And then in the single player, what we looks it looks pretty over the top and like action, like heavy
Yeah,
and,
like,
a
it
weird,
seems
like
like- yeah.
spy stuff. Going
Yeah, it's like
on.
almost like Red Dawn-esque sort of movie feel to it, you know? Yeah.
We're like, oh, super secret. The president is, it's just
Yeah.
like it's kind of cheesy to the point that
I
I'm
love
like,
it
yeah,
though. Yeah.
I like this cheese that they're
Yeah.
kind of going with, right?
Yeah,
Whereas I think
kinda-
Modern Warfare took itself a little too serious.
Right,
Mhm.
exactly.
I mean,
Yeah,
some
it's like
people like that,
super
but-
serious modern warfare, yeah.
Yeah. Whereas this one looks a little way more cheesy.
Yeah. It's like Russian
and the-
rockets, frickin' yeah.
Yeah, and like I don't like the zombie stuff, but
Okay.
like, hey, maybe if this one's if it's cross play and I have a friend who likes the zombies, I'll
Play the
sit there and
zombies, yeah.
play zombies and chat it up for an hour,
Yeah,
because
my buddies and I still sometimes hop on like Black Ops Zombies, play like the
Yeah.
old World at War maps on it, like Duris and whatnot, Shinonuma.
Sure.
think
Yeah,
They got the best like zombies. To be
Yeah.
honest.
I like the one with Jeff Goldberg. Or
Okay.
Goldblum?
Goldblum, yeah.
What's his name? Yeah, Jeff Goldblum.
Okay.
Just because he has weird voice lines.
Right? Yeah.
And there's like Cthulhu stuff going on, which is always fun.
10 out of 10, Jeff Goldblum.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you put Jeff Goldblum, Danny DeVito in it. What else can we get?
A zombies map with Goldblum and Danny DeVito. Good lord.
Yeah, that'd be so.
Yeah.
Who else would be great? What celebrity would I want to be in this one? I think Terry Crews was in one of them. I think, right?
Oh, no.
Maybe. I don't know.
If not, he probably should be.
Yeah.
But let's get Batista in there. because he's in everything,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Why not? Yeah. We
Um,
need Daniel Radcliffe in there, I think.
dude, he's too like not mainstream.
I know.
He's gone underground, I feel like.
No, he does. So it's like what he does. He doesn't do movies anymore. He does plays.
Yeah, well, I saw a movie with him called like Guns Akimbo. I didn't watch
Oh, okay.
guns stapled to like nailed to his hands or something like that.
Oh, is that the one
You've
where
seen
he's
that?
like in his bathrobe and slippers?
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
Okay, yeah. I've used that meme before. Okay. I thought that came
This
from a
was a-
play, not a movie. Okay.
No, I think it's from Guns Akimbo. I think is the name of the movie. Yeah, he just does weird stuff now, which is fun.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of interested in it. Cold War era is like one of my favorite time periods in U.S. history, just because of all the crazy stuff that went on. You know, it's like
So
they did them too.
weird.
Yeah. So
It's like it's almost like steampunk-esque kind of
just a little bit, yeah.
sense. Yeah, kind of cool.
Like there's just all these conspiracies that are just
Yeah.
out there, and it's an interesting thing to like kind of explore. And not that many like well, sure movies do, but not that many games explore it. So
Didn't Black Ops 1 do MK Ultra or something?
Yeah, they talked about a little bit about. It was kind of. It's hard
the
to.
first Black Ops is the only one that really is cold-ish,
Yeah,
I think.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Black Ops 1 talked a little bit about basically the Russian version of MK Ultra. Almost it seemed like.
Right. Yeah.
So. Anyway,
Some
moving
stuff.
along. Moving
Yeah.
along. Let's talk about a little bit lighter topics here, as opposed to communist subversion of countries. So
Hell yeah.
PS5 pre-order registration opened up, but the first round is invite only. PlayStation 5 pre-orders are going to be extremely limited, so if you're in the market for PS5 this holiday season, you want to register quickly. Although the PS5 is launching this year, we're still missing some key info about the console. Sony has revealed the console's look, etc., etc. Anyway, on Sony's new PS5 sign-up page, the company is taking pre-order reservations on a first-come, first-served basis from existing customers, according to the PS5 pre-order. The selection is based on previous interests in PlayStation activities, and you'll know if you're selected if you are contacted via email. It did not specify if those activities relate to gameplay time, purchases, or some other metric. If contacted, you'll only have a limited time to make a reservation to pre-order, so act fast and follow the instructions of the email. The expiration date and time for making a reservation will also be indicated. You'll also need a U.S. shipping address to place a PS5 pre-order in this initial round. Anyway, so it's like they're tying it to your PSN ID and everything. You're limited to one PS5 console or one PS5 digital edition. Because remember, they're doing two, one with and without the disc tray.
Right.
Yeah. Then, yeah, 2 DualSense wireless controllers, 2 DualSense charging stations, 2 Pulse 3D wireless headsets. I'm not sure if we've seen those yet or not. 2 media remotes and 2 HD cameras.
Weird.
Nice. How much does that cost? $10,000.
They haven't given prices yet.
So
Yeah.
I got that email from them.
Really?
So it's actually weird. How
Okay.
what you did was you put your PlayStation Network name in there. You
Okay.
didn't put your email. It's like, hey, make sure you use your PlayStation Network name that's
Mhm.
associated like with the email that you use, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I did that. I was like, thanks for registering, and that's it. So like, I don't know if everyone got that first email, but then it's another round of getting the second email confirming, like, oh, you're in the pre-order process,
Mm.
but you can't even put like a shipping in address or anything in there to see that stuff. So all I did was put my PlayStation Network name in, and then I was like, thanks. If you're selected, we'll email you. So it's like, it's a lot, like what they're doing to like do pre-orders. It's pretty wild.
It is kind of cool that they're allowing people that are like into PlayStation first come, like, a first serve basis,
Oh,
like
yeah.
first dibs.
I wonder
They
what
probably look at like account, like date,
Yeah.
like how old is your account,
Yeah.
and like mine's like 10 years old or whatever.
Yeah.
So they're probably like, oh, okay, like email the ones that are X amount of years old.
Mm-hmm.
So
I wonder what Microsoft's gonna do. Like
yeah.
pre-order wise, like if they're gonna do the same thing.
Yeah.
Maybe I feel like, and this also I feel like it creates like some hype for their console even more. It's like, hey, they're doing a special thing where like, if you get selected, you can
Right.
pre-order.
Yeah.
and people get a little excited, like, oh, I want to pre-order the thing. I want that email and stuff. It definitely gets people riled up a little bit about the product.
Really gets the people going. Yeah.
Yeah, well, news sites are going to cover it. We're covering it here.
Right.
So I mean, like,
no, this is all just publicity for Sony.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, man.
So in case you were unaware of the PS5,
Yeah.
what was it to say?
Whereas I think Xbox is just behind in market share, right? So,
Right. Just behind everywhere.
Yeah, Xbox just needs a nuke dropped on them.
Just need to
like the whole marketing strategy and everything I'm talking about.
yeah,
Something
nuke
about
from orbit.
Cold
Yeah. Start over.
yeah.
That's bad. It's pretty bad.
Their marketing strategy is Game Pass. You should get it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
I agree with.
Yeah,
You get it.
actually. Yeah.
You get Game Pass, but like, yeah, that's it.
I got one of those things that I can play it. And you should play Game Pass.
Yep.
I buy Game Pass.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about this really outside of, okay. It does feel a little bit weird that you're pre-ordering something that you don't know the price of.
So yeah, you can't pre-order it actually yet. This is just signing up to get the pre-order.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So yeah. So like I signed up for it because I didn't.
So
have
it's
to
like
pay
you're
anything
expressing
for it.
interest in potentially pre-ordering it, sort of thing.
Right. Yeah.
Got it.
So like they're putting it out to like apparently older customers or whatever, and then if you are selected out of the whatever how many they send out, then you'll have a chance to pre-order officially.
Okay.
So, can you guys do it through like GameSpot or whatever if you want to, or is this the only way of doing it?
Currently, this is the only way, I think.
Mm-hmm.
We can do it through retail Australia because this like pre-order stuff isn't associated with Australia. Like it's US only. That they're talking about. You got to have a US shipping address and whatever. If you ring up like any like game retail place or like even I think like JB Hi-Fi or something like that, you can basically every retail store has a certain amount,
Right.
limited to one per person. But you just ring up.
I don't think they haven't opened that option yet. I think retail stores would need the price and all that stuff to be able to actually list it and like pre-order.
Yeah.
Well, it's just like register your interest basically.
Oh,
okay.
okay. So it's similar.
So it's like the stores can figure out how many like to order or whatever. Okay.
Got it.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, I assume this is directly from like the manufacturer or Sony. I don't know how they would sell it, but
I'm sure Sony has the logistics infrastructure to be able to handle direct shipping out of PS5s and
yeah,
whatnot. Yeah.
I'm sure. I mean, they have to deal with refurbished consoles and stuff all the time, I'm sure. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Figure it out.
Hold on just a sec.
Interesting.
Okay,
Very
sorry.
interesting.
Okay, so yeah, getting closer and closer to the next gen console releases. Always kind of an exciting time because at least next year the gaming news will pick up now that they're out this little like transition cycle, or like in between.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I can already see the stories now of like Call of Duty though and the drama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plot twist: gaming dies in 2021.
Oh no. Okay. Moving along here. Let's talk about EA. We all like EA, right?
It's in the game.
Yep. Article comes to us from videogamechronicle.com. EA faces a class action lawsuit over FIFA Ultimate Team loot boxes. Case claims FIFA is in violation of California law. EA's Ultimate Team packs used in FIFA and Madden games constitute gambling in violation of California law, plaintiff Kevin Ramirez alleges in court documents seen by Video Game Chronicle. The plaintiff is demanding a jury trial and damages of $5 million. The case was brought by Ramirez on behalf of a proposed class of more than 100 others on August 13th in the Northern District of California. The same law firm has also filed a class action against Apple in June for its use of loot boxes in California. It alleges that EA, quote, relies on creating addictive behaviors in consumers to generate huge revenues, end quote, and that EA's Ultimate Team packs in FIFA are predatory and designed to entice gamers to gamble. EA's Ultimate Team packs are loot boxes. Buying the packs are nothing more than a gambling bet, the case claims. Purchased using real money, the Ultimate Team packs are simply wagers on completely randomized chances within the game to win valuable professional players and other items for the EA Gamers virtual sports team. Ramirez
No,
claims
okay.
he has been induced to spend money to purchase Ultimate Team Pats and estimates he has spent approximately $600 in FIFA and Madden since 2011. Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
that's a lot. Don't get me wrong, but that's also like almost a decade.
Yeah.
I mean, how much is that a year?
Hold on, let me look at that.
So
Less-
600 divided by
That's
9.
60 cents per
Less-
year.
Yeah, yeah.
Too
So,
bad.
I've heard of worse. Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard of
That's
about-
why little Timmy spending like $3,000 on Fortnite on his phone, you know?
So I'm assuming this is because it makes it like will give you an advantage in the game. That's why this is violating the rule instead of being like cosmetic, like an Apex or.
I think
Fortnite.
so, yeah.
Or no, Fortnite doesn't do it, but like an Apex
Isn't
or.
it legal because it's creating addictive behavior?
I don't think that's
I think that's the reason they can help. This like helps their cause, but like Apex has loot boxes.
Mhm.
But like again, they're cosmetic, so I'm assuming because these aren't strictly cosmetic, they somehow give you an advantage in the game.
Possibly, yeah.
So like it makes it addicting because you're like, oh, I want my favorite player so that I can win more or whatever, right? And whereas like Apex, it's like, oh, I get a cool skin. It doesn't actually affect
Sure.
whether I win more or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so-
I just want to look cool.
Yeah, so the issue isn't necessarily like of what value you're obtaining
Mhm.
things from like for the game and whatnot. It's California's definition of gambling defines an illegal gambling device as a machine, aperture, or device something of value is given to play, and the player may receive something of value by element of chance. None of these elements can be in dispute, reads the filing. A gamer uses his console, computer, smartphone, or tablet with the EA Sports franchise game on it. The gamer pays real-world currency for the opportunity to open an Ultimate Team Pack, and the Ultimate Team Pack is a randomized chance to win something valuable in-game.
Also, can you sell like or trade those cards? Like, oh,
I
if I
have
get,
no idea how FIFA
I
works.
wonder
Yeah.
if that's a thing. If you can like trade your players to other people's teams,
Mhm.
I would assume so. If they're like base, but they're like baseball. I guess they're not like baseball cards because you're not playing a game with it.
Is
Does
this
that mean, like,
I don't know. This is like this
Right.
might be attempting to attach an intrinsic value to like the virtual players in game.
You can't trade them or you can't like pay, you can't like sell them.
Again, I'm not certain.
Oh, I saw Matt in the chat said no, you can't. So just gonna.
does that mean like gambling as a whole in California is illegal? Like if you're getting something back from it?
No.
You're technically not allowed to gamble in most places. As someone who lives in California, you can't gamble. Like casinos don't exist unless they're on like native native properties. Whereas then that rule doesn't apply. Like you can go to a casino that's like a Native American casino and gamble, but it's different than like a Vegas. Like Vegas, you can play like roulette where you put the ball and it spins around. Whereas like this, I remember I went to one years ago. They like the roulette is different. Like it's similar, but like they pull a card out from like a suited regular, like a poker card. You would pull the poker card out and like that would be your number or like, that would be what wins. So it's
Mhm.
like they change. It's like the rules are different in some weird way. Like it's just not. It's not like what you normally think of as a casino from like Vegas.
Yeah,
It's different.
Yeah, so it's like that system you're describing sounds more legally defined as a lottery system as opposed to a gambling system, which is legislated a little bit differently.
Right. Yeah.
yeah,
It's slightly
so-
different.
Yeah, California, as far as I'm aware, has some more stricter gambling laws and everything.
Yeah.
Right? And so it seems like the idea of this lawsuit is to try to take advantage of California's stricter gambling laws against EA and then set a legal precedent in the U.S. for whether or not loot boxes qualify as gambling or not. So, yeah, anyway.
Interesting.
That
So
was-
what about like I'm just curious at this point. What about like pokie machines?
So I don't know. You can't like. There is a poker room, like a card room, like
So
5 minutes away from my house. So I think it has to do with like.
Slot machines is what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
you can't do. Oh no, you can't do like slot machines anywhere except for those like Native American
Wow.
casinos.
Okay. Interesting.
Like you can't just go to the airport like in California and have a slot machine. Whereas like Nevada, or Las Vegas is, you go to any airport.
Everywhere here, you have like we call them pokie machines.
Mhm.
Pokey, not poker.
Right.
Every hotel, everywhere, you can basically gamble wherever you want to.
It's only a few states I feel like they really have them. I think.
Okay.
Like Nevada or like Georgia.
Yeah.
that.
Mississippi.
Mississippi.
I've been to
I
Biloxi,
know.
Mississippi.
Yeah.
They have gambling.
I haven't been too much. I haven't been in like that Midwest.
Neither have
So
I.
I can't like really speak for it. But from my understanding, yeah, it's like most places gambling is not super
Interesting.
legal. You have to be like specific areas to do it.
That's wow. That's so different because it's like a big thing here, gambling.
Mm.
Like, not so much like the whole poker / like roulette kind of stuff,
Yeah. So
but just like
slots.
slot machines and stuff. They are so common. Like you put in $5,
Mhm.
have like 10 spins or whatever it is. 10 like.
So
whatever
we
it-
have like do you guys have like Scratcher? You have Scratcher
Yeah,
cards?
yeah.
Okay, so that's like pretty big around here. I feel like
Yeah.
every little like corner store you walk in, it's gonna have a little machine. You can just press a button and get a $5 little Scratcher.
Sure.
Or
Usually you
yeah,
get
I think
11 or something. Yeah.
you can even get like a I think you can get like a $50 if you really want.
Okay.
But
Interesting.
yeah, it's weird. I don't really know.
What about now? It's like culture of gambling. What about like I guess that comes into lottery, doesn't it? Or lotto, like lotto.
Yeah, that's so like the scratchers are all into the lotto. So it's all California lotto.
Okay.
And it gives you the odds on the back. It's like this is a 3-to-1 chance to win your money back.
Sure.
1.34 chance to get the grand prize. So
Okay.
we have all that stuff on the back.
Yeah. That's technically a lottery system. Like a scratch
Sure,
card
yeah.
is technically a lottery system.
Essentially directly improved.
But you download an app, which is like officially government regulated here.
Mhm.
Like it's a government app, right?
Uh-huh.
And you just put as much money in as you want.
Mm.
Bang. Doesn't give you
Yeah.
the odds, nothing, because that's like
Right.
not our law. You've got to actually Google it and look into it yourself.
Hmm.
It's so different. It's funny.
Now, yeah, you may be able to do that in other states, like using an IP address from Nevada or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I know, like online poker, you can't play like for real money in most states unless it's like Nevada or I want to say New Jersey. So if you're like really want to, you could probably get like a VPN and switch your
Sure.
IP address and sign up that way, but not if you're just a normal person who doesn't want to think too much about it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was this Matt really quick in the chat brings up how it's like CS:GO skins and whatnot basically on the Steam market, because it's all cosmetic stuff, doesn't directly impact gameplay, stuff like that.
But they sold those, like people could sell it to each other, right?
Yeah, they can, but that's like person to person.
That's what I was saying with the cards. So can
Yeah.
you sell person to person cards?
I'm not sure. Yeah, it's like I don't know on FIFA.
So if you got a really rare dude, you could be like, oh, this is worth $100. I'm gonna sell him
it to
on some
$100.
marketplace.
Should be able to,
somewhere.
because it's like selling anything, really.
Well,
If it's
Yeah,
not.
it depends on if like the in-game system exists for that to happen though.
yeah, it's different in okay. You can't trade or sell. Okay,
Okay.
That
So
comes
you're
up.
just like stuck with it.
Sure.
unless you are a person who's like running different accounts and you sell an account or whatever, right? I would assume.
Right. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens or whatever. Dude just gets like some sit rolls on FIFA. I'm gonna sell this FIFA account.
Well, they probably make the
Sure.
account, right?
Yeah.
And then like it's a burner account and they buy $100 worth of packs, hope they get, a $500 card and then sell that account to somebody else who's going to spend more money on that account.
Sure. Would people really take FIFA that seriously?
It's like the #1 selling game in the
Yeah,
world,
I know.
isn't it?
I know. Yeah, it's like insane. So
Apparently.
actually,
It's
don't
not
answer
my
that.
yeah, I don't really like
Rhetorical.
soccer too much, but
Yeah.
I get it. Sports, right? People love their sports.
Woo.
People love their FIFA. It brings in EA lots of money.
Yeah. All right, so let's just go ahead and hit this last little news story here. I think we'll save Gamecom for next week when it's all said and done. And whatnot. Do a little bit of a later recap on it. All right, this next story is about the PS5 again. Sony has filed a patent that pretty much indicates that players can sign into their accounts just by holding a controller. A recent Sony patent titled Apparatus, System, and Method of Authentication, and yes, it does have to be this dryly worded for the patent stuff, shows off the idea of signing into a profile just by holding a controller, thanks to signals sent from them to a console when picked up, negating the need to navigate a sign-in menu for both sign-in and out. Excuse me. It would use telemetric data, readings from different parts of the controller, to calculate a confidence score that's associated with the different profiles on a console, making signing in incredibly easy. At first glance, this might seem somewhat pointless, but the patent raises an interesting argument as to why the sign-in method could be useful. So it basically just talks about, like, no, the console should start preloading stuff when it detects the controller being picked up by this user or whatever, right? Trying to save on startup time. Anyway, simply put, users can easily load into their accounts, earn trophies, stats, rewards, whatever. You know what a PlayStation account does. Thank you. Telemetric data would be transmitted as soon as the controller is picked up from readings like controller, position, orientation, motion data, and pressure-sensitive switches. These are then converted into a confidence score, with each user profile having a score on that console. Whichever confidence score the user is closest to is signed in via that controller, meaning all rewards and trophies from that player are going to their account. That is not the way a confidence score works. This article kind of has it wrong a little bit or whatever. It's basically, so the confidence score is basically going to calculate how confident it is that person, and if it's above a certain threshold that Sony would set, it'll let them sign it in through that method, sort of thing. So, anyway. Diagram used in patents file shows on a traditional controller, but a VR headset, the PlayStation Move, a PSP mouse and keyboard. So, yeah. What do we think about this?
I mean, I get my face scanned to open up my phone, so.
How does that work with a mask, by the way?
With a what? Oh, it doesn't work.
Okay. Okay. That was a partially serious question too. It was like,
it just
did
doesn't
Apple
work,
like
yeah.
patch it? Okay. Yeah.
I don't know. That's kind of neat, I guess. If
Yeah.
or whatever. But like, oh, you hold your controller this way, so it's probably you.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
don't know.
the
It's novel.
I mean, people have different faces, different things. Like, it's like fingerprint detection, Like, everybody has an individual fingerprint. I feel like holding a controller is like, I mean, how does that happen?
It's
Okay.
probably,
I mean,
it's probably one of those things where it's like you don't really think about it or whatever, but it's like, people are very much creatures of habit. So it's like,
Yeah.
you probably, like 9 times out of 10, you pick up your PS4 controller probably the same way, like 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah.
So it's probably going to calculate that.
Yeah. Or like some people hold it differently, like,
You
some
cut
people
out.
play like, like some people play like this, they put their two hands
Yeah,
here.
exactly. Other people have
know,
like a
and,
different
like,
grip on the, yeah.
Or do that, like, it'll somehow through its feedback know
Right.
who it is, which doesn't matter. Like nowadays, you literally just press one button to sign into your profile.
Right, yeah.
So like,
But the idea is like,
Basically.
it's like if it detects that, someone picked up the controller, it's like, who's this person? And begin the sign-in process already and whatnot without having additional input. So, and it's like, this is also really, really low risk for Sony also, because like, it's going to be tied to the console, it seems like, as much as possible, so like an account that the controller's on the console. So it's like, okay, worst thing that happens is like, you accidentally sign into your roommate's account or something like that,
Mhm. Like I could see this maybe being important or like neat for people who have kids. That way, if my dumb kid picks up my controller, doesn't,
Right. Yeah.
and then they can accidentally buy everything. I don't have to sit there and monitor them, making sure they sign into their own
account.
child account
Yeah.
that's protected. Pick it up, boom, they're already in their child account. I don't have to worry about, me being a hawk when they pick up the controller or whatever.
Yeah.
Keep saying toes, why not?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it probably makes sense, to be honest. I guess like the way you pick up a controller and hold it, probably everybody does it. I mean, probably you do it the same way every time, so that kind of does make sense. I guess the only worry I would have in this regard is signing into other people's accounts, but then their account would have to be on your
Yeah.
system.
Right, exactly.
And
It's
this
fairly
would
low
only
risk.
work- And this would only work if there are multiple accounts on the same system.
I think I have like only one account. Maybe
Yeah.
I have a
And which
guest
they think the
account.
technology can just be applied to like, oh, the controller senses it's been picked up. It's going to start the startup process or whatever, right? Which I don't know. That could be actually slightly annoying because like if you like picked up the controller briefly to like dust under it or whatever and then set it back down, then anyway.
I would assume this would only work if it was on.
Okay, maybe, yeah.
That would be because picking up, like you said, picking up a controller.
Yeah.
I mean, It depends on the console because usually like PS4 just like stays on sleep mode
Right.
most of the time. So like if your controller gets picked up, it'll activate it. Maybe if they had like a quick shutdown kind of method where like
Yeah.
if no buttons are pressed on the controller, it'll shut down after like 10 seconds.
Or the threshold, like in the motion detector, is relatively high,
Yeah.
so that if you're just moving it slightly, it doesn't pop on. Whereas if you like pick it up, like like a nice motion
Yeah.
to like oh, it's actually time to start.
We'll see how Sony does it. I don't know. It's kind of cool. Biometrics
It's like future. It's like weird future tech.
Right, exactly. It's like biometrics are
Yeah.
becoming like more and more part of daily life. Obviously we're used to unlocking our phones either through like Face ID or touch, the fingerprint thing.
Thumbprint, yeah.
Yeah, this has been kind of a fringe thing in the PC community for a little bit. I say fringe just because it's not like super well known and it's not very popular necessarily. Not for any particular reason. I just don't think a lot of people know about it or not. You can buy like these little like USB sticks that are like fingerprint pads or whatever that plug into your PC, and then it's like instead of having to type in a password, you just like reach over, put your index finger on the pad, it'll unlock your PC for you.
It reminds me of like GameStop was doing that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you were like in a GameStop in the last 10 years, but like they recently, oh, do you have an account with us? Put your finger on here. And I was like,
yeah, I've done that. I was like,
I wanna give
why am I
GameStop
getting
my finger.
printed by GameStop here? It's like, are the cops gonna like check for
Exactly,
prints
the
from
cops just
GameStop?
pop up.
Yeah, it's like, whoa. Yeah, it's like, why am I getting printed by GameStop?
Yeah.
Anyway. All right.
I mean,
It's kind of
no,
funny.
anyway.
Yeah. All right, so I think that'll about wrap it up for news topics and everything. As I said, we'll do like a little bit of a post-mortem on Gamescom next week, and then
Quick thoughts about Gamescom is it did not seem very good.
oh, okay. I really haven't seen anything from it yet, so
I mean, there's nothing even on, like, there's the occasional small thing like the Gamescom Awards, right?
sure.
I
They're like-
watched it.
there's
Did you watch
nothing.
the opening night? Did you watch the opening night thing? It was like 2 hours long, and there was like a whole lot of nothing. There was like a Blizzard like story time hour, basically. It was like not good.
Gather around the campfire, kiddies.
They
Here's the
literally were like, "Hey, do you like World of Warcraft? Here's a 10-minute segment of like a weird animated."
Oh, I saw a little bit about that, but I didn't bother like checking into it. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, it was.
All right. So, but yeah, we'll do a little postmortem on Gamescom next week when that's all wrapped up and everything. I don't predict that segment to go incredibly long based on preliminary data here, but we'll see what shakes out. Who knows? Elden Ring could be dropped the last day of Gamescom. We never know.
Happening.
Okay.
You never know.
You never know. Never
30
know.
years later.
Yeah. So, Anthony, what games are releasing this next week?
So we have on September the 1st, August is basically over, nothing else is coming out in August. So September the 1st, we have Crusader Kings 3, which is going to PC. September the 1st. Iron Harvest is also going to PC on September the 1st. Airy and the Secret of Seasons is going to PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch on September the 1st as well. Spellbreaker is going to PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch on September the 3rd. WRC 9 is going to PC, PS4, and Xbox One on September the 3rd as well. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 Remaster is going to PC, PS4, and Xbox One on September the 4th.
I'm excited for that one.
Okay.
Hell yeah. Avengers, apparently, is coming on September the 4th to PC, PS4, and Xbox One. And most importantly, Stadia. Wait, we've got 2 games coming to Stadia this week.
Oh, shit.
Damn.
Okay.
That threw me over a little bit. NBA 2K21 is
Oh,
going to
God.
PC,
Okay.
PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and Stadia on September 1st. And that's it for this week. Yeah, that's basically it.
Excellent. Okay, Andrew, where can people find you on Twitter?
You guys can find me Twitter, Duronsky, DRONSKI, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, all that good stuff.
You have a nice,
Come say
consistent
hi.
brand across stuff. I like that.
I do. People don't take my name. I
Yeah.
like to keep it that way.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, everybody out there.
Okay. Anthony, how about yourself?
I am at SameAntman19 on Twitter, and I mainly do most of these social media stuff on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all those places. community Discord. So if you're wanting to get in contact with me, you can do so through there. I barely tweet on my own personal stuff, so yeah, that's probably the best to do it.
Okay. All right. You can find me on Twitter at Inferius7809. That is at INFERIUS7809. I tweeted for the first time in a while the other night, but yeah, I don't know. I just kind of lurk on Twitter nowadays. So anyway, hit me up there though. I'll definitely respond to like direct contact more so than just like a random tweet. So anyway, that's gonna do it for this week. So thank you all so much for tuning in, and we will see you guys next time. Same place, same channel, probably the same people, but we'll see how it goes. Anyway, once again, see you next week. Be safe and be healthy, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, thanks, guys.